buddy. You had some people a little concerned about your whereabouts recently.
I'm back, buddy. The boy is back. Let's do it.
Welcome in, folks. This is episode 173, I think, of Out of Your Falcon Mind, Atlanta Falcons Fancast. My name is John, your host, joined again by my co-host, Mr. Mike Cottrell, making his triumphant return after being in the hills of Virginia, the forest, getting lost in the mountains, and he's back.
I'm back,
helping people move.
Huh?
And helping people move.
Like helping people move, man. I've been on a world tour, man. I've been having a blast. I've been having a blast in my life. So y'all got to know, I love my podcast. I love my brother, Johnny Yates. But sometimes I got to miss it because I do have a life, you know, outside of the podcast.
Got to make money, man.
I'm able to miss it, but I wouldn't miss tonight, okay? Because I happen to hate Instagram. I hate Instagram with a passion. I don't understand it. I only follow one person. It's only one person I look at on Instagram. Her name is Summer Rae. It's my future wife, Summer Rae. Okay? One or two people. It's only one person who can match that, and we got him on the show tonight, okay? But so I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be on the show. But I do want to say this before we even start. If y'all didn't think my man Johnny Yates was the Rich Eisen level, okay? If you didn't think he was Rich Eisen level, he proved it, okay? He was Scottie Pippen. You remember when Jordan left and Scottie Pippen was scoring like 40 a game? Johnny Yates just proved he was Michael Jordan, okay? He proved he was Scottie Pippen. He proved he was Dennis Rodman. He proved he was the Bulls 96. Johnny Yates, you proved to me, man, that you of GOAT status, you have reached Rich Eisen status, buddy. If y'all didn't know that Johnny Yates could conduct himself like a professional and carry the show on his back, Johnny Yates, shout out to you, buddy.
Hey, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it was it's a different show without you. So I mean, I prefer it with you, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But like David commented on our last show, he was like, man, like this is seeming like a football show now. Like I'm missing Mike's like his view on life through football, which I get it, man. I can totally get it. I'm like, yeah, dude, that's why I don't do the show by myself. Like I wouldn't enjoy it near as much. But I appreciate that, man. Yeah, and shout out to Will McFadden, the show before last. And then shout out to Joe Patrick from 99 The Game and Damsky, of course, coming through last show, man.
Yep.
And helping me out there and having a great show with those guys talking about rookie minicamp. And it was awesome to see Joe's insight because, you know, he's there. He's covering the guys every day. So it was awesome.
Hold on. And I do want to share. Now, just praise Johnny Yates. Now, I want to shame Johnny Yates. Oh, Johnny Yates knows that one of my favorite guests on the show ever was Will, okay? And that's Johnny Yates invited Will on the show the week I missed it. Okay, hey, so shame on you, Johnny Yates.
I was struggling, buddy. I was like, I gotta find somebody, and everybody was busy. I'm like, Will, what's up? What you doing Thursday? He's like, I can do it.
Man, I love Will with a passion.
Let's go.
But I do want to say, great show, Johnny Yates. Really shout out to you, man. I thought you did great show with Will. Great show with Joe. If y'all didn't see him, go see him. Johnny Yates really. Johnny Yates, man, underrated. Let's start the show with an underrated Johnny Yates. Johnny Yates is the man. Rich Eisen, buddy.
Thank you, buddy. Well, I'm not even going to get into the hair part. But you know what? No, last show I didn't wear a hat for the last show. That was the first time.
Okay.
I just, you know, like the hair was doing okay. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just go with the hair this time.
Shout out to Joe.
But yeah, man, shout out to Joe. Yeah, anybody, welcome in anybody just new to the show, listening to the show for the first time. Appreciate y'all joining us, man. We are obviously a Falcons podcast. We go off the rails quite a bit. We do some different stuff. We have fun. We're going to play underrated, overrated tonight. It's been a while since we've had that chance to do that because we had, just like I said, our schedule have been a little crazy. But if you're here, man, like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you're listening to us, drop us a 5-star review so you can we can keep growing on those platforms, on the audio platforms. And if you're watching this on X or Twitter, whatever the hell you want to call it, feel free, man. Y'all can comment too. Those should show up in the chat, so I'll get to it. But of course, tonight we are going to cover the schedule release that happened yesterday. Couldn't do a show yesterday because, as always, I'm at a baseball field typically most of the time during the week. That's where I was. Mike was working, so we got we're going to do it tonight, man. We're going to do it with a buddy of ours, like Mike already said, Mr. Thon from Falcons Drip, man. What's going on, buddy? Look at that.
What's going on, fellas?
Already.
Everybody's rocking a hat. We got the winter hat, the baseball cap, so I had to bring a new
swag. I love it.
for some more drip. You know?
Absolutely, man. So first of all, Thon, man, for the folks that don't know, I know y'all had a pod. Are y'all going to do the pod again this year, or do you know yet?
I'm not totally sure. So my buddy Kyle's all for it. I'm just swamped. 2 kids now, third one on the way.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I'll let you guys know, but I think for now we're on a hiatus for the second time. So
hey, no, look, we understand, man. It's amazing that we've been able to keep it going with the schedule we have over the last
really awesome.
years. But now, if I added 1 or 2 more kids to the equation, probably not. That probably
wouldn't
have worked.
Yeah.
So I totally get it, man. But like Mike said, man, Instagram, the page you have there, man, fantastic. We love it.
Appreciate that.
I'm sure Mike will, has plenty to say about that. But because he's trying to grow ours, but kind of, sort of, like he just prefers.
Oh man,
so it's like,
it's like an asthma patient who got shot, stabbed, on fire. It's like. Oh man, it's sad, but it's sad, but it's our worst app. But before we even get started, if you don't know who this man is, I'm not lying when I say this, okay? His Instagram is better than the team's Instagram. It's better than the team's Instagram, and I'm not saying that because you will agree if you go to his Instagram. So go to Falcons Drip, just go see it. I hate Instagram. I only go see Summer Rae, okay? Future wife. Okay, but I do watch this dude's slow motion Bijan Robinson, slow motion catches, all of the, crystal clear graphics of the team, crystal clear plays of the team. It's the best one if you want to see highlights and footage. It's the best one for every reason, and I'm not just saying that. I said that before. It is better than the team's Instagram, which I just want to say, Falcons, hire that man, okay? If I don't know who you got running your thing, but you know who you need to have running your thing. You heard it here first. Falcons Drip is the best social media on Instagram for the Falcons, and I mean that by far. And that's no disrespect to anybody else. I'm just being honest.
I appreciate that. And, I work with a lot of different, people and, content creators and other Falcons pages. And I think that's a huge part of this, right? Is just being able to reach out to other people and collaborate with them. It's, it's the name of the business. So,
dude, 100%. We would not be anywhere close to as successful as we've been without reaching out to folks and collaborating with people and folks being nice enough to have us on their show when we had literally nothing going on. For no reason. So yeah, totally get it, man. And I think that's probably gonna be the only time in your life that you're in the same sentence with Summer Rae. So congratulations on that.
There you go, buddy.
Appreciate that. I'm hoping, give it a year, Mike. I'm hoping you're gonna be looking at my Instagram.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna get her. Trust me.
Well, like we do with pretty much every one of our guests on that we have on for the first time, at least, because this is your first time on the show. Won't be the last, but it's your first time. How did you become a Falcons fan? Favorite, if you have a favorite player of all time, favorite moment, anything like that, man, feel free to share before we get going.
Yeah, so lived in Atlanta from ages less than 1 till 4, 5, 6 ish. So always loved the Falcons. Just always loved them. At least once a year in Atlanta. Shout out to Fat Matt's. Got to stop by there every time. I don't know if you guys have been. The Rib Shack is just phenomenal.
And today is National Barbecue Day, by the way. So I was going
yes, sir.
Out, so
I didn't know that. So it works out.
Perfect.
Yep,
Didn't even know it.
I keep saying, because I keep, I shout out Fat Matt's on Instagram sometimes. I keep saying they got to sponsor me, and they don't even need to pay me. Just like when I'm in Atlanta once a year, just give me some ribs, and and they'll get weekly, monthly, whatever.
Yep.
So favorite player, there's been so many amazing Falcons, and not just players, but people too. They just great people through the organization, between Work Dunn, Tim Green, even Deion Sanders, man. Matt Ryan, they just all do great things for the community, and that's really what it's about. As far as watching players, I don't know, you could go through them all. John Abraham has to be up there.
Love it.
It's been totally lacking in the pass rush department since him. So
100%.
Yeah, don't think I could name one. I mean, I've got some obscure ones. Love Jerry Norwood. Love Demario Williams. A lot of people I don't even know who those people are.
He was the beast on Madden.
He
Yeah,
was.
yeah, he was. Josh Mallard, who a lot of people don't know, was our like fourth string defensive end, and a lot of people don't know he was our third string long snapper. And that was a trivia question that let me play with the Falcons and Matt in a tournament once. So
That's awesome.
yeah, it was awesome. I actually was beating the guy so bad afterwards. I left the room and gave it to another kid and said, "Okay, like you can finish it from here." And didn't go back because like if I went back, I would spoil it. But like,
Dude, I just would have. Golly, like if you're the other guy, like I would just left at that point. I'd have been like,
yeah.
All right.
So
Well,
listen,
yeah.
Now I do have a question for you. You are in New York City, so they got two teams. They got the New York Giants and the New York Jets. When you wear your Falcon stuff, I know you get dragged. Like, what are you doing? You're not loyal. Like, how do you handle being a Falcons fan in New York City? How hard
So
is it?
I'm actually more like upstate, but I do go to New York City quite a lot.
Okay.
But you know, it doesn't bother me. We're few and far between in upstate, you know, and in the city too. But a lot more Bills fans where I am than
Buffalo. Yeah.
yeah. And
makes sense.
truthfully, and I have heard some stuff from New Yorkers about the Jets and the Giants. I let them know like they're in New Jersey, so I don't even know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, if they're not
I
Bills
love
fans, then I don't know. And
I
truthfully
love
too,
it.
like if you're not rooting for the Bills, I get it if you're Jets, Dolphins, Patriots, but like the Bills Mafia, man, like besides the Atlanta, you can't not root for the Bills. You know?
Yeah. Yep.
So
Yeah, no, makes total sense, man. Yeah. Well, before I mean, we know this is kind of like the segment we do, like what's new. But Mike, before we go any further, buddy, you were in Virginia for like a week,
Yeah.
and you had some experiences there, man. So like, tell the folks like
Oh,
getting lost.
I'll tell you two of them experience I had that I thought was great. One is that y'all got to go outside. It's very important for you to go outside. And I don't mean in your neighborhood. You have to go out in like nature. And you can go to the beach or you go to the forest. But the forest is it's one in North Carolina that I've been to, and it's one in Virginia I've been to. And I've been blessed twice now to be in a forest where if you 360, all you will see is green. And I mean for as far as your eye could see. And it is one of the most, like if you yelled, it would be no one to hear you. Like it's all green as far as your eye can see. And that is it brings peace to you. It's a whole nother vibe. Now you know if you get harmed out here or something happen out here, you in the world
You're
of trouble.
done.
Because you're done. But it is one of the most like all you hear is nature. You hear bugs and birds. And it's beautiful. I took video on my phone. It's just beautiful. I was in the forest in Virginia. And I'm from up that way. I never knew it was forest in Virginia. But it was an amazing experience. And I've also had that experience in I believe it was like North Carolina has a forest. I did the same thing. It was 360, just green. There are still places on this earth where it's just trees and mountains, and it is beautiful. And I tell you one thing about the mountains that you don't know. If you see that from off and it just look green, it's like a mountain. There are cities in those mountains with grocery stores and chiropractors and like it's a whole school buses. It is you would never know that unless you went into the mountain. But from far away, it just looked like green. It don't look like it's anything there but like wolves and bears. Whole cities in those mountains. And two, a very important thing I want to say. I always try to share y'all some life lessons, but one is that I assumed I was in trouble a few of those times because of my skin tone. So a few of those times I had about 10 of these experiences there where the person I was interacting with was they did not like me. They did not want me there. They thought it was weird that I was there. And that person's spouse came out of the house and was totally the opposite of them. And I thought that was so cool to have those two people in the same house. I don't get mad that one person is in house. I just think that's so dope that the other person is in with them, because man, they can teach each other. And so like every time I had a problem, the spouse, he came out or she came out like, hey man, leave him alone. He just being himself. He's not bothering nobody. And I thought that was cool. And I ended up having an amazing experience. And I always say that do not judge the place you're at. Just don't have it in your head that the stuff you see on TV is real, because it's really not, man. The bulk of people in this world are good people. I don't care what the skin color is. So don't always think because I'm in the country, I'm gonna have a bad experience, or I'm in the hood, I'm gonna have a bad experience. I'm in the city, just gonna be, that's all in your mind for the most part. And the bulk of people are really, really good people if you give them a chance and you let them talk. So that's the experience I had. I thought that was really a nice experience to go to see. I'm from the hood. I don't get to see no trees. I get to see the ice cream truck, strippers, and violence. I thought it was cool to see trees and birds. I thought, oh wow, how cool is this? I took videos and all that, but I thought that was really cool because there was a few times I thought I was in trouble, and every single time a person came to my aid or came to my defense to like balance it out. So don't always judge people for their skin color. And I think we all do that to an extent. You got to stay in your mind like, oh God, I hope. And if you just give them a chance, they usually come around and they don't mean you harm. It's just, I'm startled. That's all it is. It's not, I don't hate you. I'm startled. You got colored dreads and a bunch of tattoos. I don't know what. I'm just startled. I don't hate you at all. And that's all it was. When you give those people a chance to unfold themselves, the people don't hate you. They're just caught off guard most of the time. And if you give the other people a chance, it always balances itself out. So I think that the average person on this planet is a really good person if you give them a chance. So that was kind of dope.
100%, man. And actually, the area you were in Southwest Virginia, like that's kind of where my family's from.
Yeah.
And so, and one thing, like those folks don't believe in guardrails in the mountains either. Because if you slide off, like you're just sliding off, there's nothing stopping you. You better be damn sure you're going slow around those curves. Because
man, I told John, hey, let's have a laughing, dog. I held up traffic 30 plus times because I'm going 10 miles an hour because the people behind me are used to the road. So you can go a little faster. If you make one mistake, you're going to die. So I'm not speeding up. I don't got the music on. I'm in full concentration going around this mountain because you make one mistake, you're going off the side of a cliff. But it is absolutely beautiful. I encourage everybody to go to the beach. You got to see the beach, and you got to go up in the mountains so you can see the forest, like like your log cabin type thing. You got to go in the woods. Black people hate the woods. I know y'all hate the woods, but you can barbecue in the woods. Okay, you can start a campfire and you can barbecue in the woods. Ain't nothing wrong with the woods. Okay, so you got to go in the woods. You got to go to the beach. You got to go to the city. You got to experience everything, man. Life is short, and the world is beautiful.
Dude, I'll say too. Oh, go ahead.
I'll say too, like as far as like mountains and beaches go, you got to make sure you either catch a sunset or a sunrise.
Oh man, I saw both of them. Both of them. Yeah,
slightly different, but
yep.
You gotta. It's great to be in the mountains. It's great to see the beach, but if you're only going one time, you got to at least catch a sunset or a sunrise.
You do. So. Yep.
100%. And I know
the world is beautiful, man. The world is beautiful, and if you ever have a chance as well, when you're in the woods and you don't have the lights, you can see the stars
way better.
Clearly. It's a different experience than when you in your neighborhood. You can see the stars like it looked like a movie. It's just amazing, man.
And those folks you're talking about that are comfortable driving there, like that was my dad. So every time we would go home, scare the living shit out of me, dude. I'd be back in the Lincoln, just sliding around like that was before the seatbelts really mattered, man. I'm like just clinging on to shit, like dying, like thinking I'm about to just run off the rail, man. So it was like that. But anyway, well, all right, man. On to some actual Falcon stuff.
Let's go.
Audion Kadeji was released today, which I don't think anybody here is really surprised by that. We kind of knew. I think Mike was it a few weeks ago. Like I forgot he was on the roster actually. So hey, you know what? We wish the best for him. It just didn't work out here, man. But and then also, have y'all seen? Or I don't know if I don't think you've seen it, Mike. But Thon, have you seen the Raheem? Have you seen Raheem on Busting with the Boys podcast?
I have not. I have not. When did that must have come out recently, right?
Yeah, it's just like I don't know if it was today or yesterday or whatever. I just happened to catch it earlier when I was working, but really cool. They actually and then they interviewed Bijan for like an hour or two. But Raheem gets into they ask him, of course, about Penix and Kirk, and of course, But
I did see that.
Yeah. I mean, it was really good. They did a good job. I mean, Raheem did a great job of talking. And one thing he said in there, and I'm not. We're not going to spend this time talking about Kirk and Michael or whatever. But one point he brought up was when everybody was so pissed. And we all reacted the same way on draft night. Well, why did you tell Kirk when you're on the clock? And he brought up a good point, and it makes sense. It's like, well, number one, there's not a good time to say that. And there's no, and he told Kirk, I'm sorry I couldn't be up front with you because I just couldn't, I just can't tell you that, but because it's just business. But he's like, what if we don't pick Michael? What if somebody would have came and jumped us and got him, and we've already told him, hey, we're going quarterback first round. Then that doesn't happen. Then you got Kirk. Even then, Kirk's thinking the whole entire time, well, shit. I mean, I guess I'm on the way out anyway. Then you know what I mean? That changes.
Leak that information anyway. You can't leak that information.
No. But it just made a. I haven't heard that. I haven't heard him say that yet. So I was just like, yeah. I mean, that makes total sense too. But Thon, before we get into the schedule, man, you got to get your take on the draft though, real quick. I mean,
I think I was the only person who offered. I was clearly shocked. Don't get me wrong. Definitely shocked. Didn't think they were going quarterback. But I feel like I was the only person that liked it. You
definitely were, especially on draft night. Maybe you and two other
people. Yeah.
Why did you like it?
Because it's the most important position in sports. I get we got Kirk Cousins. I get everyone's saying win now, but if you have a guy and you have a belief in that guy, and for me too, he was my third best quarterback. And for me, and they were all pretty close. For me too, I actually like Drake May more than I like Caleb Williams because I think that Drake May's floor feels higher. But I would say that, hey, hold on a second.
Are you good?
That's fine.
So y'all know Thon's got a 3-year-old that he's trying to go to sleep at the moment. So, it's the difficulties you have to work with. So while Thon's doing that, man, I'm going to say what's up in the chat because we haven't done that yet. Jeff, what's up, buddy?
Jeff, what up?
Good to see you. Marlon, what's going on?
Marlon, what up?
Good to see you, man. What's going on, Wade? Good
to see you. Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. I helped someone move. Hey, I said it's my last go around. You will never hear me say that again. I've helped so many people move, but I did say it's my retirement party. I waved goodbye. But I have to help people who don't. You got to plan for that. You got a budget, and sometimes people don't have money for that. So
yeah, of course. But are you sore at all? Did you move heavy shit, or did
I'm
you
gonna tell you, John Yates? The number one thing I wanted to tell you is I'm not sore at all. I'm in the best shape of my life. I look ridiculous without my clothes on now, and that's no homo to y'all. I know it's mostly men, but I'm in the best shape of my life. I wasn't sore at all. That was the number one thing that I wanted to tell you, John Yates. Not even sore a bit.
I love it. I knew you wouldn't be. Kerry, what's going on?
Kerry, what up? Falcons fam, how are you guys? So happy the NFL schedule is out. Which games do you attend? Happy to see you back. I'll be back. I'm going to the Dallas game because my mom is coming in town. We definitely going with the Balt Bros. What we going to do with the Balt Bros is going to be epic. And I do want to see a Saints game. I heard my man Mila was coming for the Saints game. If Mila come, I'm going to that Saints game. That's hands down.
Yep, yeah, for sure. Like you just said. I don't know that I'll be at Dallas, but I know you'll be at Dallas because your mom will be here. I'll definitely be. We'll both be at the Chargers because again, we got the Bolt Bros coming in town, so we're gonna try to do some stuff with them. And I'd love to make a Saints game, and because again, Myler, our boy, Father Mullet, who's in the chat sometimes, y'all should know him. He's in the Hall of Fame. He drank the Bijan mustard, all that stuff.
Hall of Fame.
So but if he makes it, then we'll definitely gonna try to make it out there. And somebody asked me, or Myler asked me, if we were gonna do like a little fan get together thing like we did last year with Bigelow and Pound for Pound and Smitty and all those guys one time. And I think we will. I'm sure we will. I just don't know when yet. So we'll probably be early summer, preseason type thing like we did last year. But we'll keep everybody posted, man. Ashley, what's going on?
Ashley, what up? Hey, good people. Also saying thanks for the reminder. I don't know what she talking about, but hey, what's up, Ashley?
Oh, for the hitting the like button.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh yes, please hit the like button, y'all.
Yeah,
Ain't
there
no
you
point
go.
in watching if you're not gonna hit the like button.
Yeah, and Marlon stick aggressive on new
And
edition, man.
unless you hate us, don't hate us.
Right.
Marlon, what up? Berto, what's up? Yo,
What's
fellas,
going
what's
on,
up?
Berto? All right, so funny story, Mike. I didn't told you this, but Berto said so he was going to his son's school. I think it's Bert, if I get this wrong, you gotta correct me, man. But he's going to his son's school and he had on our hoodie. And he was like, hey, is that for if there's like a local high school that's like the Falcons? And he was like, is that for that high school or is that for OYFM? And Berto was like, I had to like think in my head for a second, like I had to get the acronym correct. And he's like, well, he's like, no, it's just out of your Falcon mind. He was like, oh yeah, I watch those guys on YouTube. He's like, I'm not really a Falcons fan. He's like, but he's like, I'm a football fan. And he's like, he was a cop. He was like, the dude one dude has dreads, and the other guy looks like a cop. I was like, what?
John looks like a cop.
What the hell? So now every time Berto calls me, he's like, what's up, Officer John? So like that's like my thing with him now.
Oh,
But
what? Hold on. I got one for y'all today. I was going to save it for the end of the show, but I got one today. I got pulled over today, okay? And I can't explain the whole story, but just know I got pulled over and I was totally in the wrong. Let's just leave it there. I was totally in the wrong, okay? And the cop pulled me over, and I know, like, if y'all know my space I'm in right now, I can't afford to get in any trouble right now. I go straight to jail, okay? So when the cop pulled me over, I was thinking to myself, like, oh, man, but this is bad. And the cop pulled me over, and he talked to me, and he said, the minute he saw me, he said, hey, man, you got a podcast? And I said, oh. I said, yeah, man. With John, he said, yeah, man, I'll be watching y'all sometime. And we shot the shit, and he told me, and he let me go. And I said, this is the first time the podcast ever got me out of a jam. Shout out to Out of Your Falcon Mind, man. And shout out to that cop. I will not say his name, but he was the coolest. He sat there and talked to me. He changed the whole topic. He changed it. We talked about the Falcons for at least 10 minutes. He was the coolest guy, and he just let me go ahead about my business. And he told me to stop doing. Through Christ. Yeah, he just told me to stop doing what I was doing. And I gotta say this too. I hate the cops where I'm from because I got traumatic experience, but I love the cops in Atlanta because and I've been to jail here twice, but I love them because they're always reasonable with me. They're always reasonable. They are good guys for the most part. I love Atlanta with all my heart. So those guys are always pretty cool with me, and they're always able to talk to me. And that guy today, it was just early today. Yeah, I was already texting John. Hey man, it's fucked up, but hey man. And the dude was so cool with me. He just talked to me about. He said, "Man, you got a podcast about the Falcons? Yeah, you got a podcast." I said, "Yeah, I'm with John," and he knew who we were, and he just talked to me about who he drafted. Hilarious. And everything, and he let me go. So, and he said that if he didn't, it would have cost me $710. He had already had it in his mind how much it would cost me.
Holy shit!
Yeah. So, shout out to him. He saved me almost $1,000.
Yeah, man. Shout out to our show. That's awesome. All right, Super Contra, what's up, buddy?
Super Contra.
All right, so back to you, Don.
I'll be so essentially going just back to the draft. Penix. Mm-hmm. Like Penix was like right there for me, just as far as his like the way he throws the ball is unbelievable. Now people are starting to really see it. A lot of his receivers, like they give credit for his receivers for coming down for a lot of 50-50 balls, but the way he throws a lot of those 50-50 balls, they're more like 75-90 balls. He throws them perfectly. He has great pocket awareness. I think he's only been sacked like 35 times or something crazy like that. Yeah. And like it was over 1,500 dropbacks. He has the strongest arm I think we've seen since Michael Vick, maybe, and probably a little more accurate than Mike Vick at times. Not saying don't want to compare him to Mike Vick, both left-handed quarterbacks, but two totally different players. Definitely more athletic than you'd think he is. Mm-hmm. And I think part of the reason is because of those injuries, right? So he doesn't run a lot, he doesn't scramble a lot, but he moves well in the pocket. And then just his maturity, like even and again, we're seeing that now, and I think it's winning a lot of fans over. But like even just the way he talks and holds himself, and you just a lot to like there. So for me, like you're going to take the most important position in sports, even though you already have one that's kind of on his way out. I'm totally okay with that. And then going on to, you're going to build the D line, which is, so how are you, the most important position in sports is the quarterback. How do you stop the most important position? You get to the quarterback. How do you get to the quarterback? Build the D line. So like I was pumped. I know, same thing. I was pretty shocked with the Rook pick, but again, like that's your guy. And Terry's done this multiple times. He gets ahead of the curve, gets ahead of the when guys just keep going at the position off the run. He gets ahead of the run every single time and gets his guy. Whether it's the right or wrong guy, it's his guy, and you can't hate him for that.
Yeah.
I like to think that they know more than we know. They know more about the players. We're not privy to the medicals, which we saw I can't remember his name, the Illinois D tackle. He's got to have a surgery.
Another one
who everybody wanted, right? Newton. So we're not privy to that. We're not privy to the interviews. We really don't know what the coaches are looking for in players. So like you're going to jump ahead. You're going to get a position, maybe not of need, but Grady and Nanyamata they're not spry chickens. They look like it. They play like it. But Grady's coming off an injury. They're both going to be 31 this year, I think.
believe so,
30 or 31. So second most important position in football is the D line. So I know it's not edge, which we definitely need. Don't get me wrong. But I think too, they must have a lot of faith in AK. So, and
100%.
And AK, like it makes me. You guys watch The Office?
Yeah.
So it makes me think of like Michael Scott when he's like snap, 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 snap. Because they're going 4-3-4, 4-3. He's had what ran 3 different defenses in the last 3 years. So same thing like him, Troy Anderson. It's hard to really give those guys a look and know what they're going to bring to the table because we haven't seen them consistently doing the same thing. So
for sure,
I liked it.
Yeah, and Joe Patrick was saying like Braylon Trice has already taken runs with the ones, like he was in and out already. I mean, granted it's May, but I mean like he was already in there, doing in the rotation. So like that's good to see. But yeah, we all came around, man. Like I don't think any of us on that panel that night, and we weren't alone obviously, but I think we were all just like that's not what they're going to do. They're going to definitely go with somebody to help us like this year. You know what I mean? And so like that didn't even enter my mind. So when we heard it, we're just like, what? And then a couple days later I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense, I'm with it now, like I get it. And then like you said, you see how he interacts, you see his press conferences, and the dude's got 10.5-inch hands. Like the football for him is like a Nerf turbo football would be to like us normal folks. Like it's just you can just sling it, so it's just different. So I'm with it though. Caller Stewart, I said, I'm new here, guys, hope others are excited for the season because I ain't excited. I'm fired up for the season. There we go.
I'm glad you came, but change the back of that username. Change the end of that username.
It's so we don't forget, I guess, which we're not going to.
Never forget.
Yeah, exactly. But we appreciate you, caller, man. Definitely, man. We appreciate
you. Love you
for
coming, man. Thank you, buddy.
Absolutely. Liam, what's up?
Liam, buddy. Man, y'all should see Liam when he went to the dance. Liam was so fly. Liam was up, man. I got the picture. Look, here's my desktop on my laptop. If y'all see Liam, when Liam went to a dance last Friday, okay, and Liam was Thomas Shelby fresh, might I say. He was Thomas Shelby fresh. It was amazing. He's my desktop screen. I wish, man, you posted that John on Twitter or no?
I didn't do it not on our Twitter account, no. It's on
John posted that on our Twitter account. It was an amazing, he was fresh.
I'll do it at some point. Yeah, right. People probably like that. But yeah, no, it was his 8th grade dance, and so he had to get a little bit duded up for it. So yeah, he had a great time. DJ, what's cracking, buddy?
DJ.
All right, so boys, the reason why we're here, the schedule release happened last night, and shout out to the social media team, man. They did a hell of a job. Everybody is really praising their release video this year, like the NFL Street. It was awesome. Like
best game ever, in my opinion.
Oh
like
man,
NFL Street 2. That soundtrack too.
Oh my God. Yeah, dude. Fantastic game. Yeah. I mean, and so, I was totally on board with that when I saw it, and it was great. The Saints part was phenomenal. You got London running through a wall with the S, and, and it was great. So just looking at it, guys, I mean, like 4 primetime games. And right off the bat, it's amazing what a quarterback can do for you, like an actual quarterback. And no diss to our quarterbacks last year, but like the Raheem, Kirk Cousins, the Bijan Robinson, like it's definitely made a difference, clearly, because we've got 2 primetime games in the first 4 weeks. But this schedule definitely sets up a little tougher on the front end, gets a little easier in the middle, and but the way it's set up, and we'll go through it. So they leaked it earlier in the day, that yesterday, I guess it was, that our first game would be the Steelers. So Artie Smith, Cordell or CP coming back, one of the players, of course. I mean, coming back home, well, not home, but going back to Atlanta. So obviously storylines galore in that one. We've never beat Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin's 4-0 against the Falcons. Yeah, love Mike Tomlin. And Mike Tomlin obviously being like Raheem has said, like he credits Mike as far as his coaching career, him being the most influential when it comes to that. So it's going to be just, man, I mean, this entire schedule really is not, we got plenty. It's going to be a fantastic, dude, for content. It's going to be an amazing year. We got galore. Yeah, everywhere. So, I mean, Thon, what are you looking at with the Steelers coming? I mean, obviously the obvious, but what are you looking at with the Steelers coming in on week 1?
Yeah, so the Steelers, the thing that for me is 2 things. Like Arthur Smith, I actually liked Arthur Smith. I know a lot of people didn't like him on his way out. Anytime I had a couple interactions with him, and he was always just awesome to me. I know he like gets a bad rap for the media and that kind of stuff. But
Joe says it too. Joe said it's fantastic.
Everyone said that.
He was awesome, and he was like, I used to watch the media stuff, and I used to just laugh because like that was a totally different person than the guy who I talked to. But he's coming in, and so their whole offense is going to be adjusting, right? It's going to be his offense, so they're going to be changing just like us, which is nice. But our defense is also totally different, and they're going to have the exact same defense with the exact same killers. So that's what makes me nervous. And like looking at the schedule, if we drop week 1, and we'll go into the other ones, like we could very well start off 0-3.
Yeah.
So like I think for me, week 1's a huge game because you never want to start off 0-3, but
yeah, 100%. I mean, and
mute his mic, John. Mute his mic. Mute his mic. No, I'm playing. But will we start off 0-3 is the question I got for you, buddy. Will we?
You asking me? What's on?
I'm asking both of y'all. Will we start off?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Like I think I said, I'm pretty positive and upbeat with all of this stuff. There's a legit chance like we could go 15-2.
Oh, see, now you're talking my language.
No,
now you're talking my language.
Do I think we will go 15-2? Unlikely, but we legitimately could. Like the schedule is, when you look at it, it's, John, you said it, but it's, 3 top teams, 6 bad teams, 8 mediocre teams.
Yeah.
And if the promise of having, we have 4 primetime games this year. So like the promise of that, like people think we're going to be something. So if we're going to be what we think we are, what the team thinks we're going to be, we have to beat all those mediocre teams. So that puts us at 15-2, and let's say we beat one of the good ones. So
John is my slew foot. Okay, he just slow. He kind of keeps me from running off because I would say we're going undefeated. John is not going to allow me to do this on the show. He's going to be more realistic. He's going to say, no, well, we can. So I'm dying to know, Johnny Yates, come on, man. Schedule just came out. Smitty, what up? 11-6. Smitty. Now, John, are you going to beat Smitty? Are you going over Smitty? Are you going to match Smitty? Or are you going under Smitty? What you doing? Johnny Yates, come on.
It's it's incredibly early, but I'm not going to say, I don't know. It depends on, a lot of it depends on Kirk. Because we like Kirk.
Hold on, I just want to say
wait. No. Listen.
All
Kirk
right.
normally starts off fairly slow. Like and like if you listen to Aaron Freeman, like he's talked about this over the last few weeks on the Locked On Falcons. Like I think he said his winning percentage in September is like 36%. Now, granted, I'll be the first one to tell you, like I'm not a big winning as far as like quarterbacks and wins going together. Like don't really do that,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's just the number that it is. You know what I mean? Like it's, there's a lot more factors than just Kirk.
Right.
But the fact of it being a new offense, I'm curious to see how much that he actually plays during the preseason this year, because this is like brand new everything. You know what I mean? For like it's a brand new offense for him. It's a brand new offense for us. Like there needs to be, and I'm never one for the starters really playing in the preseason. Like I'm good with them getting like a quarter and like, okay, hey, go sit down, don't get hurt, just go sit down, don't hurt yourself, whatever. But this year I kind of want to see more, because I need to, I mean that's how the offense is going to get connected, is just by getting those reps, those game time reps. And I know it's going to be vanilla, and I know it's going to be against, maybe not the first, second teams of other guys too, but still, like, that just, it's different than practice. Being in the game and practice is way different. So I'll go 12-5.
No, Smitty, we got you, buddy.
So,
Johnny Yates.
Why not?
Here's what makes me nervous. Like, especially starting out, because you hit the nail on the head with Kirk always start slow. And then, he's coming off a pretty big injury. I don't know what's going to kind of happen. I don't know the time. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to pretend to know. It seems Atlanta's talking like everything's good to go. But, he's coming off an injury. How much can he play in the preseason? Like right. I would love to see him play too, but is he going to be able to? I think it's a lot of these early games we're going to rely on the offensive line and running back continuity. Like that's what we got to rely heavily on, and they need to really carry us, I think, for the first few games. And like going back to the new defensive schemes, like it takes a while to kind of gel with that stuff.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
So listen, here's why it's the greatest podcast in the world. Shots fired, Joe Rogan. Johnny Yates studied physical therapy in college. Johnny Yates, we need to ask you, would you, with his injury that he has, is that something where you would play him in the preseason, or would you hold him out, have him stretching and have him treating that to preserve him for the season, or do you warm him up in the preseason with the specific injury that Kirk had?
I mean, the Achilles is such a weird one for anybody, because it's such a human specific type of thing. Like you'll see guys come back from it in 5-6 months. You'll see guys take a full year. You'll see guys take 9 months. It's just really like how your body reacts to it. And it seems like, I mean, was he 6.5 months out or something like that right now? And he's throwing, he's planning, like he even said himself, like he's not sure if he's putting his full weight on his back leg to really get into his throws yet or not. But it being May, we're talking about three more months basically. So I mean, if he's feeling good and he's cleared, there's no reason why he couldn't be. But again, that's just how cautious do they want to be about it? How comfortable is Penix in the offense too, just in case something, God forbid something happens, whatever, all those things. But I mean, it's going to be twofold, because they're going to want to see plenty of Michael in the preseason as well. Get as many reps as he possibly can. Because again, if everything goes as planned, he's not going to see any game time this year, unless it's like maybe garbage time if we're up by like 4 touchdowns on somebody. But I mean, that's literally going to be it. So I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine for the start of the season. I just don't know about preseason too. Like Don said, it makes sense. Linda, what's going on?
Yes, Linda, what's going on? Drippity drip. I got a good one for you. Okay, it's going to be controversial. It's going to get you some followers, or it's going to get you unfollowed. It's just how it goes.
I'm good with that.
Okay, here's the way it goes. If Kirk is in, we're gonna say week 8. Kirk isn't being Kirk. You can see the injury kind of struggling a little bit. Are you on board with you bringing in Mike, or you say you sit for the whole season for sure, or are you on board with bringing in Mike?
I had a question for your question. What's the state of the franchise at that point? 8 games. What's the record? How's it looking?
Here's what I'm going to do to be fair. I'm going to split it. We have won 4 and we lost 4. We split it. You get no advantages here, buddy. You get 4-4, and he's playing mediocre. It's struggling. It's not looking good. I'm asking you.
I'm thinking, so if and here's where the 4-4 doesn't matter. I know you're trying to make it even, but we're 4-4. We've played our toughest games already. Besides week 9, I think, is the Cowboys, right?
Oh, so good point.
So we've played our
Yeah.
toughest games.
Now you should be a lawyer. You see how he wiggled out of that, John? That was good. That was good. He got me. Yeah,
So
I set him up, but he got me. Good one.
So we've played, we've played our toughest games at that point, and with the Achilles, with the new offense, with things just gelling, I think you stick with Kirk. And I really think, you paid him, and I know everybody says like, oh, you got him for 2 years. I think if we traded him, if we had him for 1 year and then traded him, I think he's got a no trade clause. But if we said we were starting Penix, he'd probably want to be traded. We saved, it's not like we take any more cap. We saved $2 million in cap, I think, if we trade him after June, June 1st, July 1st. I can't even remember. June 4th.
Yeah.
June 1st. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay. So if we saved $2 million after that if we trade him. So it's like we could trade him, get some assets. It really is a 2-year deal, but like we can really get out of it after one. But I really think like we keep him, keep it rolling and see how things go. I think unless like it's obvious like he's not ready because of his injury or something along those lines. Like I think we're better off keeping the same quarterback. I mean, and you see what happens. We saw it happen with Desmond Ridder. Like he got pulled. Was he playing great? No, but it was a total game changer when Arthur pulled him and then tried to put him back in. Like he his confidence was totally shot. So, and then Ridder and Kirk are two different quarterbacks. Kirk's a veteran at this point. I'm sure it's not going to shake his confidence, but I say roll with Kirk. And let's see how things go. Like I said, unless it's like him and he's clearly not the same, then those are my thoughts. Now if we're 0-8, then let's see.
Oh my God! Don't even say that.
Johnny Yates. What happens to my main man Taylor? Is he not playing? Is he going to get traded? You think he get?
I don't know. I don't have a good feel about that.
Third string, buddy.
Yeah, I don't have a good. I see it. It's like they could be, if they wanted to kind of be, I don't know, all NFL about it and say, okay, the rookie is going to be the third string and Taylor's the second string, but everybody knows that's bullshit. And if something happened to Kirk, Penix is definitely coming in. It's not going to be Taylor, like in my opinion. But I don't know. I mean, it depends what they want to. I mean, it's at what Taylor restructured his contract to is so little now. Like it's not that much savings if you cut him. But it'd be a little bit of savings. But I mean, maybe
you keep 3 quarterbacks now. You get an extra quarterback spot. So like, I mean, we have the best quarterback room in the NFL.
I love Taylor. We really do got the best whole court. If you talking about all 3,
for sure.
Like Taylor as a 3 is awesome.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, because some teams only have 1. So I mean, like it's great when you've got 3. So we experienced that ourselves. So anyway, with the Steelers, the biggest thing that worries me is TJ Watt coming off the edge against McGarry. Like that's always gonna worry me. Like when those guys line up against each other. So this time next year we're probably talking about. We've drafted a tackle, and I hope Caleb proves me wrong. It's just like we've seen it over the years, man. He just can't stop a speed rush. He has trouble with that. We can't have Kirk getting hurt, man. So or Penix for that matter, because Penix is lefty and he'll be blocking his blinds. Like we said 100 times on the show, he's gonna be blocking his blind side if he's still here when Penix takes over. So that's my biggest worry. But hey, look. My biggest thing with that, y'all get your asses in the stadium for that one so we can keep the Steelers fans the hell out. Because they travel well. There's a bunch already here in Atlanta. But man, we've got to get in there and get loud for them because, and I think they will be, to be honest with you, because we were talking about training camp on the last show, Mike. It's going to be like it was nuts last year. This year is going to be even more nuts.
It's going to be
because it's just the excitement, the actual like true excitement that's going on. It's going to be wild.
I feel like the first game is always bumping.
It is. I think they'll be good. I think it'll be good. Now, I saw Ashley and Marlon saying they're going to try to make the Vegas game.
I love y'all for that.
Yeah, I would love to too because we lived there for 3 years. I'd love to go back and like see some friends and go to the game too. But I don't know if that'll work out. But that would be awesome. Week 2 is our first primetime game, Monday Night Football at Philly. So that one will be interesting. It's going to be Bijan versus Jalen Carter, and that the whole we could have drafted him. We'll come back up again. So it's going to be like I said. You got plenty of, and like Thon said too. I agree. I thought the running game is going to have to really, really be strong and carry us through those first 3 or 4 games while the passing game kind of gets together. And it's got to be better than it was last year because that's really as bad as the quarterbacks were. The running game wasn't quite as good as it was the previous year, which also hurt the passing game. So yeah, that's got to be better. But it's always nasty in Philly, man. I hate playing there. It's the fans. You know how the fans are there, so it's just it's going to be
They boo Santa
ugly,
Claus.
but
It's a hard task to go to
yeah.
Philadelphia
But
on prime
there
time.
it is, and but one thing that's kind of good. Well, I guess it is good. Jason Kelsey no longer there. They're going to have a new right guard as well. Now they still got probably the best tackles in football, so it'll still be tough for our edges probably to do some work. But like we could maybe do some damage on the interior. So that's kind of what I'm looking at there. And they're Jalen. I mean, I love Jalen as a Bama fan, of course, but like he didn't have a great year last year. So like a lot of Philly fans are kind of lukewarm about him now. Like, is he really going to, how's he going to bounce back from the season that wasn't all that great? So I don't know. I mean, I think we could that could be one we steal. I think on Monday night up there, but
it'll come down to it's just like kind of crazy. It's going to come down to a lot of like the cornerback versus wide receiver play. Yeah. Like AJ Terrell is going to be on. Who knows who he'll be on between Smith or Brown. And then it's going to whoever wins the CB2 job is really going to have their work cut out for them. And then on the flip side of things, right? Philly has 2 rookie corners. So it's going to be up to our guys who I think are super underrated. But our wide receivers are going to have to cook them and quickly because this D line is going to get after it. So
yeah, and I can't wait to see with this new defense. I mean, it's going to be as well if Raheem and Jimmy keep it kind of like how Raheem has played it in the past. It's going to be heavily zone, so it's going to be 70% zone, and which benefits, like if Clark Phillips is out there, benefits him greatly because he does a lot better in zone than he does against man. And I mean, AJ can play both pretty well. He was really good in man last year versus Mike Evans. And if he's on AJ, because he's y'all know how it is. He's been with Mike Evans. Some days Mike cooks him. Some days he does well with it. I mean, it's just he's a bigger guy, And AJ Brown, they don't get much bigger than him at receiver. So I mean, like it'll be a tough task for him for sure.
Man, honestly, in the first few ones that we play, our game should be time of possession. That got to be the strategy is to run that ball and keep the ball because you don't want to lose those games with teams that are really personnel wise greater than us, right? So you don't want to start off losing because the fans here check out early and often, so you can't afford that. So you want to run that ball. You want to run that ball. You want to keep that ball. You want to do boring football for those first few games while everybody's still learning. And then when we get into the lesser teams, you want to get to throwing deep and all that. But we got to run that ball early on.
Yeah, for sure.
And Kirk's not, Kirk's more of timing, quick routes, getting the ball out. So like having our passing game with London Mooney, I think it's got to almost be like an extension of the run game, like early on, right?
Yep.
So
big time. And then the very next week, week 3, our very next primetime game at home, and the Chiefs come to town.
I can't wait for that. Oh, that's the measurement stick. Man, dog, I always want to fight the bully. I want to see where I'm at with my hands. I want to see. I don't want to dodge away from it. I don't want to duck it. You're gonna have to beat them to win a ring. So so let's see. Now I don't want to see, and I'll be honest, I would love to see in week 10 instead of 3, but I do want to fight the bully. I want to see what we need to because we got to go through them to win the ring. You got to go through Pat Mahomes.
I put out a poll on Twitter to see like which game most people were looking forward to. And I give the options as the Steelers for obvious reasons, the Chiefs, Cowboys, and Commanders, and we'll get to those in a second. But so far, out of 230 votes, the Chiefs are at 50%.
We want to see. That's the measurement stick, man.
Yeah,
I think we match up well against them, actually.
That's why I love you, buddy. Right there, it's the humble shit talk. The humble shit talk is what I love the most. Come on, why do you say that?
I just think like they're, we're there as far as like matching up and going up against each other. Where they're weak, we're weak. Where they're strong, we're strong. So they have a strong interior offensive line. We have a strong interior defensive line. They've got weak tackles. We got weak edge rushers. They've got Chris Jones. We've got a pretty solid interior offensive line. So, I just think it'll be interesting to say the least. And
John,
I think we'll match up well against them.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Chiefs,
like,
buddy.
The
Chiefs, buddy. Like, come on, man. What you thinking?
I know. No, I mean, it's just Pat. I mean, you have to get to Pat. Like last year, their offense wasn't the same that it was the year before. Like they struggled a little bit on offense last year. Now they picked up what Xavier Worthy is going to be their new insane speedster guy on the edge or on wherever he lines up a wide receiver. But yeah, you just got to take advantage of it, man. And we can't let Travis Kelce just run wild either.
Yeah.
So that's, because every game we look at, like I look at the tight end too, because the tight end, y'all know, has killed us for years. It doesn't seem to matter what scheme we're in. It just seems like if it's a good, talented, athletic tight end, he's going to kill us, So I hope.
How do we fix that, John? And here's what I'm saying. I don't mean against the Chiefs permanently. Like, how do we fix that?
I mean, the scheme was definitely you hope the scheme is going to be an improvement because, like I said, like last year, a lot of it was Richie on an island with that guy, which is never a good thing. You know, like this year, if he's back, look, if you got Richie playing man on a tight end, we saw that didn't work out very well. Or if he's dropping in the deep third, didn't work out very well there either. So, like, you're going to have this maybe like a Troy Anderson thing where he can because he's athletic enough to keep up with these guys and fast
and big enough
to really to mess with them. So that could be our good.
I was just saying, can he take the next step? Right, like we saw him improve last year before he got hurt. But he has to keep it can't just be picking up where he left off. I was thinking too, and for the Philly game, I think he'll be huge. A part of the Philadelphia game because he's going to have to be the one to watch Jalen Hurts because he's fast enough, big enough, strong enough to spy him, and we don't have a lot of guys like that. So,
and you may start seeing I won't be surprised you start seeing the 3 safety look too, and you have DeMarco on the field with Richie and Jesse, and that's another way you can possibly because they're going to have.
John want to see them 3 safeties so bad. John has brought that up 20 times.
It's going to happen.
Want to see the 3 safety so bad.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, and Mike, that Joe did say that DeMarco was taking first team reps. So
I like.
I love it.
So
I like it. He played well at Bama up until besides the Jalen Hyatt game. Besides that, he played well. Just really quick too. Just talking about matchups. Talk about Patrick Mahomes, best quarterback in the game. Well, we haven't had the best safety in the game, so he changed games. Jesse Bates changed games for us last year.
He absolutely did.
He literally won us games. So we're just gonna he's gonna have to have a big day.
Exactly.
Get that defense right.
Exactly.
And
folks, folks in the chat, I'm gonna get to y'all as much as I can a little bit. We're just gonna get through the schedule so we're not here for 4 hours. After the Chiefs, man, we stay at home and our first divisional game. The Saints come to town. I think we can sweep the Saints this year. I mean, I know we probably say that every year, but I mean, I really feel like we can this year. We have the ability to do that. The biggest worry that they really have. I mean, I'm still not a believer in Derek Carr, but Chris Olave is always going to worry me because he's an elite type of guy. But other than that, I'm not overly worried about. I don't know.
This is and to me, you're talking about the games that you had listed. This is the game I'm looking forward to the most. And I think it's the most important game. At home against the Saints, we just went through a gauntlet of teams. The Saints aren't great, but it's a division game. We hate them, they hate us. It's a must-win game because I don't think so, but we very well could be looking at 0-3 in the face. And if we lose to the Saints, if we then lose to the Saints. Then we got Tampa Bay, and was it 4 days after that? So
yeah, exactly. So and exactly right. So the Bucks come we actually have 3 division games in a row. We go, and then the Bucks come to town. So really, as well, I mean, 4 of our first 5 games are at home, so we got to take advantage of that too. Even though these are tough matchups, we got to get the crowd behind us and really, really, really take advantage of those games. The Bucks, Baker. We know what Baker did last year. Definitely was a I mean, surprised a lot of people. And I mean, so we'll see if he can continue that this year. No Dave Canales running the offense again because he's now coaching the Panthers. So we'll see what kind of, if there are any tweaks to the offense, if they're going to run the same thing. Like, of course, Mike Evans, he's always going to be a problem, like we've talked about before. But those games, I mean, you just have to take advantage of those games at home, especially against your division.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the Panthers the very next week on the road. And, I mean, they've made some improvements. Clearly, they couldn't have got much worse. I mean, they made improvements with their draft picks and a few of the offseason signings. I love Xavier Leggett, man. Have you seen Xavier Leggett do a press conference yet, Mike? Go watch it.
No,
Yeah,
but I love it. Yeah,
he's the most country dude you've ever heard talking.
Okay,
like I heard somebody comments that he basically speaks in run-on sentences. Like it's it's hilarious. Like there's
it makes me
no
think like Waterboy.
no punctuation. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
The guy in
No, he
Waterboy.
could have definitely been a guy in Waterboy, 100%. Yeah, exactly. But that with that Panthers matchup though, like biggest thing there, we're not worried about the edge presence as much as we have been in the past, with Homeboy going to the Giants now. So we're kind of happy that, obviously that happened, and McGarry is probably thrilled he doesn't have to deal with him anymore. They still have a good defense though. They still have a good, well-coached defense. So they're still going to be a pain in the butt. Because all these games, that's what, as Falcons fans, you always worry because there's always one game that we're going to like stub our toe and we should never lose. We're going to lose like last year. It happens every game. We shouldn't have lost to Minnesota last year. We shouldn't have lost to Arizona last year. But we did, so you just got to hope those games are a lot fewer and far between. Then the Seahawks come to town right after that, which would be cool. Mike McDonald versus Raheem, too, I guess. I mean, real legitimately first year head coach for McDonald, but obviously Raheem getting a second chance. But that'll be tough matchups for our corners too, because you're talking about Metcalf and Lockett and Jigma up there, which three legit, really good, wide receivers. So that, I mean, what worries you about the Seahawks on or anything?
Yeah, I would agree. Just they have Geno Smith's fine. Sometimes he's really good. Sometimes he's really bad. Sometimes he's right in the middle. And it just feels like when Atlanta plays a team, that's when people go off. That's when records are broken. That's when people have their best games ever.
Yeah.
So like that makes me nervous because they have the talent. They've got two great running backs. They got three awesome receivers. I could see a world where they all play really well. I'm glad that they're coming to us and we're not going to them. Like you've been harping on, like it's really important that, because the Seahawks fans, I think, travel pretty well too. So I think it's important for us to really show up in that game and make sure it's a home court advantage.
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think, but that's definitely a game we should win. Like we should.
I agree.
When I look at the schedule, that's a game we one of the mediocre teams, we should beat them though. So.
Yeah, I mean, I look at obviously you look at the quarterback, right? When you look at a lot of teams that you're going to play, and like, hey, how good is their quarterback? And like you said, Geno's up and down. He can be really good, or he can just be kind of mediocre, or just really, really bad. Like Bryce Young, rough rookie season last year. Like he's going to have a few more weapons this year, but I feel like we should beat them. I mean, I feel like Derek Carr is beatable. I feel like Baker Mayfield's beautiful. I mean, these,
I think there's 4 games, and I think some of them are questionable, but 4 games where they've got better quarterbacks than Kirk Cousins, in my opinion. Whether it's Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott. I know a lot of people don't like Dak, but Dak Prescott, and then Justin Herbert. So like the other teams, we have an advantage at quarterback, which no one said for the last 2 years. So.
For sure. And we didn't mention it with the Steelers, but obviously we think it's going to be Russell Wilson, right? Which I never would have. I mean, I wouldn't have thought that Russell Wilson would have been a great match with Arthur Smith's offense, but I guess we're going to find out what that looks like. But I mean, who knows? But that Russ did play well last year. Like that when we talked about our quarterback options.
Wilson.
He still played well. Like it was, like I said, 20. He wasn't the same guy, but he still had 26 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. I mean, like it was still, we wouldn't like he was a slouch last year. But then we go to the Bucks for a Thursday night game, which I don't love Thursday night games because normally kind of, I just hate it for the team because they have to turn around so quickly. Their weeks. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Their week is
Thursday, week 5. Am I wrong?
I think it's this one, unless I wrote it down
Okay.
wrong. But yeah, either
Either
way,
way.
either way. I mean, either way. I don't love it. Like I said, it's just a quick turnaround for the teams, and like it's for both teams. They both have to deal with it. But I mean, it's either way, it's one of those ones you hope you take care of. And then the Cowboys come to town the very next week,
That's
and
gonna be a good one.
yeah, and see, I think Dak's underrated a lot of times. I mean, like
Mhm.
he's a damn good quarterback. So I mean,
Mhm.
of course he has his moments, but I mean, like for the most part, man,
Mhm.
he runs that offense really well, and that's been a well coached team. No Dan Quinn though, no Dan Quinn defense anymore.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But Micah Parsons is always gonna be the guy you watch out for.
No, the best. I mean, just the best. Yeah, he's gonna be a problem every single time. I
Mhm.
don't care who's the coach or what kind of scheme they run it. He's one of the best in the game, in the sport.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. It doesn't matter who's blocking them.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
No, you're gonna have to chip his ass like every time.
Yeah, and I don't. Yeah, he's gonna destroy you. And I love my team, but he's gonna. It doesn't matter. He's
I
gonna
don't know.
win.
I kind of want to see Tyler go like full speed into him.
Oh, that's gonna be a good one. That's
Yeah,
gonna be good.
I think Tyler could like. I don't, yeah.
John chose violence.
Oh yeah.
Chose
Because
violence. I love it.
I mean, because I think we don't see Tyler like get blown back off the ball that often.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
never.
So
Yeah.
I mean, like I think he could probably if he's having to pass block in that situation, I think he probably could in that situation. But anything about the Cowboys, Thon, that sticks out other than what we've already talked about?
Just I'll be curious to see. I'll be curious to see like how their offensive line is. Like a couple of years
Yeah.
ago, they were stacked, and it just feels like they're just losing people. They're getting older, so I think that'll be a big tell just how Dallas's season goes. Is just what's the offensive line look like for them. So
Mhm.
the defense will be good. The receivers are good. Dak usually does pretty well. It's going to come down to kind of the O line for me to see if they're in the tier of like good teams that we're playing against, or if they're in the mediocre team. So
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. Then we go to the Saints the week after that. Again, there's not. I mean, we already know there's not much to say about that game. And then go to the Broncos, which by that time, I guess we could see Bo Nix starting at quarterback.
Bo Nix.
And
I'm gonna tell y'all something. Sean Payton is gonna use that man in a way that's gonna aggravate me because I
hope
called
not.
it. I called it. I said Sean Payton is a genius, and I know he saw that man and said, "That's who I want." I believe he's gonna use Bo Nix, and he's gonna shock everybody. But we're gonna beat the shit out of him. I'm not saying he's gonna beat us. I'm just thinking he's gonna be better than all y'all thought he was gonna be. Bo Nix, when used with Sean Payton, is gonna make y'all regret not picking him. I guarantee you, it's gonna be something special. But we will win the game.
well, we won't know that though. Like over Penix, so we won't be able to judge that until Penix takes the field.
Oh yeah, well we won't know. No, I'm not saying us. I believe that
Oh.
we chose the right quarterback. I'm saying
Okay.
other teams who slept
I got
on
you.
Bo Nix. Well, you should have picked Bo Nix because when Sean Payton get him, he's gonna know what to do with that guy, and it's gonna be an exceptional. He wanted. I'm gonna tell you, he picked that guy. He could have picked anybody, and that's a genius guy. He picked him for a reason. It's gonna be awesome over there, but we're gonna beat him.
Yeah,
I hope you're wrong.
Me too. Yeah, I can. There's no coach I really can't stand worse than Sean Payton. So like,
Yeah, I
really
love Bo Nix though, and I hate Sean Payton, but I love Bo Nix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I really want to beat him badly. And I mean, the matchup for them there that I'm looking forward to is Drake London and Patrick Surtain Jr.
That's gonna be epic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's going to be Patrick's very physical
Yes.
corner, and we know Drake's a very physical receiver, so that's going to be fun to watch.
And that'll be our first back-to-back away games too this year.
It will be.
Mhm.
Yep.
And in Denver's a tough place to go and play. So
Sure is.
You can't
yeah,
breathe.
I hope, and so I just hope that we're not, I hope we're not sleeping. That's all. I think like if
Mhm.
there's a game we talk about, like Atlanta blows one game a year where it's like they should have won that one. Like I think that's the one that I lean towards. Like that'll be the one where right before a bye week, back-to-back away games. Denver's really tough to play in. I could see, and maybe I'm hoping this is a new regime. We don't have to worry about that anymore. But I said that with Arthur Smith too. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
I know, dude. It's like every regime we say the same shit, and it just like comes
Yeah.
around. But now I agree with you though. I think that's one of those games too that we could, if we're not awake, we could definitely
Mhm.
drop one. And then we come home, and the Chargers come to town, and that's going to be a fun game, man. Like, obviously Justin
Yes.
Herbert, and they've all the receivers left except for Quinyon, what's his name, Johnson, Quentin Johnson, whatever his name was from TCU, and then who they pick up in the draft? I forgot.
McConkey.
McConkey, yeah, that's the of course, yeah. We wanted so hopefully he doesn't come in here and torch us because we were really hoping we would draft him in the second round. Yeah, so that'll be interesting. And we go ahead.
I just know that game could be over by 3:00. Like if we just everybody's running the ball.
I know, yeah, because I mean, Coach Khaki Pants is going to come in here and definitely going to. I mean, he's going to want to make his I mean, his effect felt on the team. So I mean, but that's going to be his offense. It's going to be nothing like what Staley was running last year. It's going to be probably a very run heavy type of thing, and then just have Justin, which will be good for Justin because I mean, less dropbacks for him, less chance to get hurt because he's been hurt several times now, almost every season. So, but that'll be a fun game because we obviously should have won last year. The TQ fumble there at the end was that last year, year before? So they all run together. When TQ had the fumble on the, he recovered it and then fumbled on the way down the sideline.
Was that 2 years ago? I think
2 years ago. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago. I was at that
either
game.
way. Yeah, it sucked. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so hopefully we pull that one out. But then we go to the Vikings, which will be, obviously Kirk going back to Minnesota to make his return there. Of course you're going to worry about Justin Jefferson, the biggest concern you have there on their offense for sure. Anything on that Vikings game that you got there, Thon?
Yeah, just like the two big, two key positions for Vikings that they had like elite players at, they had to replace with rookies this year, first round rookies. So I could just see a huge drop off for the Vikings when
yeah, I'll feel really good. Yeah, I'll feel really good if JJ McCarthy starting at that point.
Yeah.
No diss to JJ, but it's his first year, and if he's starting, I mean, like that's
who's their other quarterback they have right now?
I don't even know, dude.
I'm not sure either. I guess I know people have said that, and I've just been like, well, who else are they going to start? Like,
because Dobbs left, right? Then he's not.
I can't even run him. I don't even know. This is the least I've known. I've been paying attention to any offseason. So,
or the kid that played against that started actually probably the kid that played against us then got hurt. Then Dobbs came in.
I
can't remember.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong, but yeah. And then we go to Las Vegas, Monday Night Football in Vegas again, which that will make it kind of tough to travel out there though on Monday night because then you got to during the work week. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, they got what Aiden O'Connell. That's what they're going to have a quarterback more than likely. So again, another quarterback that's we should be able to take advantage of. Max Crosby scares the living shit out of me again going against McGarry. That worries me because that dude Crosby is nonstop. Like he is just nonstop. So I hope we got some type of answer for him. And like I said, offensively, they don't worry me all that much, even though with Devontae Adams and I understand they got some good playmakers. I just don't know. Aiden O'Connell's had some pretty decent games, but I don't know that he's. I don't know. Well, it's late in the season, so they'll definitely know by then what they have in him or what they don't. Anything on the Raiders before we move on? We're all good.
No, I just besides Crosby, I've kind of felt like a Week 15 and our Week 16 game going to the Giants, like just both those teams probably will have nothing to lose at that point. The Raiders aren't winning that division. The Raiders are probably out of the playoffs by then or close to it.
Yep.
So that they'll be just playing for, and I like their coach, so I feel like he'll have them ready and they'll just be playing with nothing to lose. It just kind of can be scary at times.
Agreed. Yeah, I like Antonio Pierce a lot. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and Giants, same thing. I don't know that they're going to do all that well in that division. I mean, we don't know what Daniel Jones. He's up and down like a yo-yo too, so I don't know how it's going to work. And then we go to Washington to see Coach Bro, man. We're going to reunite with DQ up there, so it's going to be
that's going to be a good one. I can't wait for that game.
Him and Raheem are going to battle for positivity's supremacy.
I'm from there, and the joy I feel in my heart when I see the tears roll down all of my loved ones' cheeks. I don't know why it just invigorates me when they are snapped because they love the Commanders I don't know why this team ain't been good since the 90s, but they hold on to like Ricky Sanders and Art Monk, oh man, that was a long time ago. Man, I was 9 when y'all was good, buddy. I love it, but they love that team so much. Those are the best fans to me in the world. They if you study your merchandise sales, they are still one. like the
Is your
Red
brother?
Skins.
Is your brother?
Yeah,
Is your
yeah.
brother a Skins fan?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
man, all
same.
of except for
Yeah.
mom. She from
Yeah, of
Texas.
course.
But
Yeah.
but my brother, my like dad was. All my friends love them. So whenever we play them, it's a lot of trash talk, and they've never been good. So I don't know why. I don't know where the confidence comes from, but I love to see them broken, and they got yeah, it is just be good. It like that, like John said, it'll be a battle of positivity. It'll
Yeah.
be It'll
Yeah.
be like Care Bears and high fives and like marshmallows and all
I
like
can't
it'll be
wait.
good.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see what shirts he has for them in
Yeah.
preseason and what cool sayings they have. I can't wait.
Yeah.
It's gonna be amazing.
Shoot for the
But
stars.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
whatever he's going to come up with. But, it will be, Jane Daniels obviously going to be,
Mhm.
I mean, damn near the season's over at that point. So and, him, Jalen, um, Pat, Gino to an extent, those are pretty much the running style quarterbacks we're going to see, which is kind of good because we're not great with running quarterbacks. I mean, either,
Mhm.
but we haven't been, I should say. That's something hopefully we'll get better
I
at. But
think playing more of like a lot more zone, like you'll just naturally be better at it,
you would
just because
think, yeah,
you've got a lot more eyes on the quarterback versus.
absolutely, yeah, I agree. But that'll be an interesting game. Hopefully, we can take it to them. I mean, they definitely lost some pieces on that defense,
Mhm.
but they still got a couple of studs over there too. So we'll see. And then of course we close out the season at home against the Panthers, which hopefully that game doesn't mean anything at that point. Hopefully we've already locked it up and we can rest guys and we can whatever we got to do. But
Mhm.
like it never seems to work out that way. It'll probably mean like if we win, we make it. If we
Yeah.
lose, we don't. I mean,
I don't want that game
What
to
do you
mean
mean?
nothing.
me either.
Well, it'll be playing for the first round bye, boys.
Right?
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
More than
are
likely.
all on drugs on that time of the year. We are on some type of substance. Ain't nobody paying attention. So we need
Dude,
that to not mean nothing. We are
just like
drunk, high, or on the pill or something. We don't need that to be paying attention to the TV. So I hope
yeah.
and we shouldn't be. It shouldn't mean nothing. If we do what we're supposed to do, it should not rest on the last game.
Right. And just like last year, like, obviously that game in Carolina meant a lot,
Yep.
and the way we lost it, was just brutal, you know what I mean? So, I mean,
John, I will never forget you texting me because that was the day where you threw in the towel on Desmond Ritter. John was furious. I never
no,
forget
dude,
it.
we were at that watch party with
Yeah. I would never
yeah,
forget. You was like, man, I'm done.
Lo said that was as angry as he's ever seen me. He didn't know I could get that angry.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, dude,
Yeah, I'm done.
something's happened sometimes. I mean, it
Yeah.
happens. But yeah, so that's the schedule. So, I mean, like I said, like Thon said, man, there's if everything goes right, we could end up 15-2. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna, but if like Spinny said 11-6, I said 12-5. Mike, what'd you say? Other than
I'm
like
going undefeated. I'm not saying I'm not calling a loss. Are you joking around? It's out of your fucking mind.
That's what I like.
I'm not calling a loss. I'm saying we run the table with Kirk Cousins. Super Bowl! And we get Matty Ice a ring. We get an extra ring. No, we get 2 extra rings for Matty Ice and for me because I feel like I deserve one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So we'll do after.
Hold on, John. I do have
I
do have a question. I don't know if you all can see this on the schedule or not. Is he calling any of the games? It don't say the station. Do it?
I don't have yet. And they'll probably set that later on.
Okay.
I'm guessing. But I mean, there's a good chance. He had 2 last year? Didn't he call 2 last year?
He did 2.
Yeah. So it's a solid chance, Yeah, I think so. And he's going to be on CBS's pregame show too, right? So I don't know.
He
Will
probably
he be
won't
calling?
then. Yeah, if
Yeah,
he's on the pregame.
Yeah, so I don't think he'll do both. He'll probably just be on the pregame show.
Oh, okay.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Nate Burleson is on the news now. I got a shout out to Nate Burleson. He made it to the actual news. Like he's on the news section. Like that dude is amazing. I love Nate. So shout out to him.
Didn't Strahan do that?
Yeah,
he was on he made it to the actual news. So Jesus Christ. Smitty said, it has its benefits. I had a free meal about 3 weeks ago at Outback because the manager knew No. Hey, it was my first benefit ever, Smitty. I got out of a jam. I love it.
Yeah.
And the road pit was the first time I realized the Falcons team post Drake. Yeah.
Yeah. And we talked about a little bit on Tuesday with Joe and Damsky. Like, he's kind of the perfect guy to pick. I mean, honestly, because like Don said, I mean, Grady and Anyamata, they're not done. I mean, they still got plenty of net in the tank, but I mean, they're not getting any younger either. So for a guy like Rook with that type of ceiling that he has, the athleticism he has, perfect guys to learn behind. He doesn't have to step in and be like some kind of monster right now. He can, they can get him in where he fits in and move him up and down the line. So I think he'd be a good spot.
Real quick, I just want to say this. That's the same state of the brain you gotta study for Penix, for whoever's pissed at that. Is that we have a quarterback now, he's gonna be good for right now. But I think the only thing the guys were doing was trying to keep winning.
Yep.
We want to keep winning for the long term. So that's all it was, is they want to win now and they want a plan in place, because it's a hurt guy and he's an older quarterback. So in case he go down, or in case he don't be what we paid him all the money to be, it's the contingency plan in place for us to continue winning for a long time in the future. So that's all it was. So anybody that can get the root pick for Grady, the same state of mind you need to be in for the quarterback. It was no diss to Kirk. It was no diss to anything. They're trying to win now and continue winning. That's all it was.
And the D line play, like, they rotate a lot. Like, that's in football, like, that's who rotates the most, is the D line. So he's going to play, even if I think he'll end up being a starter, like the 3 down linemen. But he'll play, even if he wasn't, like him, all those guys, they'll play a lot of snaps probably.
Yeah, I think so as well. Yeah,
John Bird.
I totally agree.
I actually have a question for you guys, unrelated to a lot of the stuff that we're talking about. Something that I've been thinking about for like the last couple of years, and I haven't really said anything until after the Penix pick. But I'm wondering, like, how much we've picked offense 4 years in a row, and I'm wondering how much of that is, when you think about the rule changes and what the league is trying to do and how hard it is to play defense. Like, you have such an advantage on offense now, so why wouldn't you just stack your offense so you can just that's just kind of something that I've been thinking about. And I'm wondering, like, how much did that play into any of it, or is it just coincidence? So
that's a really good point. Yeah, because I mean, when you were saying about defensive line, I totally agree, because you look at teams like Philly and stuff like that who just load up every year on defensive line, and they have fresh guys coming in or out all the time. But like we talked about that prior to the draft, like, when you have Kurt, do you just go all in and go get another monster receiver and like just make this unstoppable force? Like you said, it's a valid point, because you don't know. I mean, or you don't know, especially with the rule changes that they keep making the quarterback a lot less. I mean, you can't touch him now, basically. I mean, and they keep the tackle zone literally is like from the chest to like just below the hips. Like, that's it. Like, you can't go low, you can't go high. Like, it's so that's a good point, man. That's a really good point.
And I just want to say, I believe it's the sexy pick, and it fills the stands. It sells jerseys. It sells the stadium food. It's what gets money. So if you go get like a lineman, it probably is best for the team, but it's not going to sell. It's not going to sell all the tickets in the jersey. So I think they do have that in mind sometimes. I don't care what they say. We going 20-0. Now you take my language, buddy. Let's just go above and beyond with it. I love it, Double H.
Oh, that's great, man. What's going on, Chris?
Chris, stay tuned. I got something for you.
Oh, okay. So you already know that.
Yes, I already know.
Well,
so don't say it. Yeah,
I got you. What's going on, Chase?
My man,
Good to see you guys. Hey, so look, we've had Smitty, we got Chris, we got Alberto,
we
got Dirty Fanatics.
We had Alberto jump in.
One time was here on Tuesday. Shout out to all the creators that's popping in. We appreciate you guys so much. And also brings me back for those road games. Make sure y'all go to the Rise Up tour, and because that, again, Jack and Thomas do a fantastic job running that thing. The only way to go see road games was on the Rise Up tour. So make sure y'all check out Jack and them guys. And we're going to do a show with one time. We've been trying. It's just been impossible. It's been damn near impossible. We're going to do it though. Damn it. Let's see. He's trying to get to. See some new folks. Oh, here we go. Crispy said predicting 9-8, 10-7, or 11-6.
Hold on, nah, man, you got to pick one of those because that's you saying I'm predicting 9-8, 10-7. Nah, come on, man. Let's at least start at 12. Let's at least go Smitty. At least go Smitty. Smitty or bust.
I love it. Smitty said Kirk and Heineke in 24.
Ooh, I love it. Yeah. Oh, all right. Okay.
Hey, what's going on, Larry? Hey, and the Dixon Way. And the Dixon Way. Make sure y'all check out the Dixon Way anytime y'all are watching.
That's my guy right there.
Any Atlanta sports. That's absolutely right, man.
Any Atlanta sports. Live stream. Nobody does it better.
I agree, man. What's going on,
Mark Cheney.
Shout out Falcons Drip.
Falcons Drip. That's I told you. The best Instagram.
Appreciate it.
It's just not my opinion, man. Okay, it's just I'm just the voice.
There you go. So now
I'm in. We'll be in touch.
Absolutely. And Mark
Smitty,
said,
you have to collab with Smitty. He like the GOAT, so you can't skip Smitty on anything. Mark Cheney said tough schedule. No real breather into the Denver game, and even that will be interesting. So what you say is the record, Mark Cheney? Come on, man.
Yeah, man. I'm hoping to really I would love to make a road game this year, and Denver would be an awesome one to go to.
Yeah.
If y'all have never been to Denver, Denver's a cool city.
Yeah.
But
I would love to go to Denver, but I would never come home.
You would never leave. No, you need to stay away from Denver.
I already know I wouldn't leave Denver for various reasons, but I know I wouldn't leave Denver if I ever got to Denver.
I said it to my wife. I said we got a plan. I said we got to try and go to Denver, and she's like,
and I want to go to Oregon one time.
Yeah.
So Super Cancer said you guys are missing a big opportunity. Imagine wishbone formation. Oh, he getting interested. I love it. Penix get the snap. Kurt runs the wheel route, and Bijan providing the lead block. Pitts and London run deep routes, then block down. Okay, I love this. See, now we going off the rails. This is my kind of talk.
I think Kurt blowing his Achilles on the wheel route. We don't need that.
I mean, I don't want Kirk running a wheel route under no circumstances.
We'll lose that.
Ashley said they're the only team without a prime game for a reason. Without a prime time game for no one is saying.
Absolutely. Panthers, yeah. Jones
Bones, Bijan and Algier are going to be the engine of the offense like Freeman and Coleman or Dunn and Duckett. Now you're talking my language. Legends, they're going under the radar right now. They're pushing Xavier more than Bryce, yeah. Bryce got some struggles in front of him, but he'll get it together. He just needs some help.
I see more interviews with Xavier than anything, but I swear to God, it's just because they like the way he talks. And that's
how could you not?
I'm gonna tell you. John has met. I don't know. Have y'all seen that thing where they be like, "Twin, where have you been?" That's John's twin. The humble shit talk. I seen him do. Like John will insult you, and you won't even know it until 2 minutes later. And he is the same way. He just talks so much shit, and you be like, "I think he would." And then, you notice 2 minutes after, you already stabbed up. You already bleeding before you know it.
I'm also a big humble shit talker. Like,
you see what I'm saying?
I was talking about the mad, like even putting that mad, and I was like, okay, like here, you can finish it. Just walking out. Like that's the thing I said to that guy. Yeah, like just.
I love it.
My man Mark said we should have beat them 2 years. Oh, we should have beat them 2 years ago in
Kansas City. Koo missed the field goal too.
Sure did.
Game.
Yep. And that's rare. He never missed those. Yeah. We will beat them this year. I promise.
I almost feel like it's on purpose. It's a better draft pick, I think.
and then the world will be talking Bolt Bros. I can't wait for that. That's my most exciting game. Sorry, Mom. That's also she said that's awesome. They're coming for the game where you guys be at the home opener. We need as many fans as possible there. Too many Steelers fans. I probably won't be at the Steelers game, but I will be at Dallas and the Chargers for sure. For sure, those two. I don't know what else.
For me, it'll totally depend on Liam's schedule because he'll be in fall ball time, and those are all Sunday games. So it's hit or miss on whether he's gonna be doing that. Smitty, thank you, buddy.
Smitty, thanks for coming through, Smitty.
Yeah, man, appreciate you guys. All right. Oh yeah, Mark's right. it is Sam Darnold up there in Minnesota.
Hate him.
Oh yeah,
That's
fine.
please don't get me on the rant about them.
That's right. That's right. And so Demetrius and Williams said the same thing. Yeah. So that was ridiculous. And he said the Monday night game starts at 5 p.m. What? Is that the case? Oh, because it's in Vegas, right? So
yes, in Vegas is why I said
yeah. So that makes sense. Yeah.
Kind of wish the Vegas game was Sunday night football for travel reasons. Hey dog, you gotta stay home when they play on Monday night on Tuesday. If you stab a one, you be up to midnight or 1. It's crazy. The Raiders are going to be an easy win. They just don't have a true.
True. Yeah.
So happy you're a Falcons fan and not a Commanders fan, Mike. I couldn't be. I don't like burgundy or whatever that color is. It's the stain. If you ever doodled on yourself, the same exact color. I hate it. Hell, real. How many wins did we predict last year, man? I said undefeated.
I said 11-6. That's what I said last year.
Yeah,
I believe so.
yeah.
I might have been like, if we were really good,
I said undefeated, and I was grossly incorrect. As I was when I said Taylor Heineke was the Atlanta Falcons savior, but I won't get into that.
We all were, buddy.
Millie Mills, out of your Falcon mind, what's up? What's up for all those teams this year? Tell them bring it or let's get it. Tell them that you can pull up, but you won't pull off. How about that? You can pull up, but you won't pull off. Ritter threw the worst in it. He did. Dude, hey, I just want to say something. We are on record because Mariota just fell and threw it, which was the wildest play I've ever seen. And then Ritter did something almost equivalent. It's weird. And Kirko changed, we believe.
I still don't know what was happening for there. I had no idea.
William Amy, what's up, Will? This offensive line have to protect them for the whole season. Yep. Big Low. It's a lot of lows in the world. That's the biggest of them all. Big Low, what up?
Yeah, we've had everybody in here tonight, man. We appreciate you guys.
Hey guys, what's up?
Going on,
tonight? We got everybody in here tonight.
Yeah, man. It's been a bit.
I just want to say this while everyone is here before y'all leave. Smitty, don't leave yet. I want to give a really shout out to my man Chris. Okay, my man Chris Tipmore. If y'all don't know him, I know y'all know him. Talk him out. Okay, on the show with Smitty and Berto. That man did something that was amazing. That man walked across the stage last week. Okay, that man graduated from college. So shout out to Tip, and especially because Tip is he covers all sports. Okay, and Tip is the most sharp black guy since Barack Obama. Okay, you never heard somebody this articulate, this crisp. He looked like he would rob you in the alley, but he wouldn't. He wouldn't rob you in the alley. Okay, Tip is the sharpest. I think Tip is going to be on Fox 5. He's that great at his job, and you got to give that man props for having his own life, being on a podcast, having a show, and still graduate from college. So we want to give Tip props for walking across that. Say, man, when you have a job and you got a life and you got a podcast and you in school, that's almost impossible to do. And Chris pulled it off and he walked across that stage. So we got to give a honest to God shout out to Chris for doing that, bro. That was not easy, dog. We so proud of you, man. You my man. We love you, bro.
Yeah, man. I shot Chris a text the other day, whenever, because I saw the show and I was like, oh shit, I didn't even realize. I thought he was still like had some time to go. I didn't know he was that close to graduating. I was like,
he walked.
Hell yeah, man. Let's go, buddy.
Shout out to Chris, man. We proud of you, bro.
Bankhead to Buckhead
Super Bowl.
Love it. Hey, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
Appreciate you, dude.
You gotta keep coming back.
We always have a good time, man. We always have a good time. We try to keep it up. Man. All right. So do y'all want to do underrated or overrated before we get out of here?
I say we do it real quick. No, we always play a game. Let's do it. The show already running long anyway, and we got my man Drip.
Listen, the way I talk about the Falcons, like you're lucky we're at 135.
I say we go.
John was saying we'd be here for 4 hours. 4 hours would be short. We really,
dude,
we do this.
I know that's the thing. Yeah, I know. So, Mike, you want to start it off?
I want to start it off by going underrated Liam. Let's go underrated Liam. Liam, buddy, the top tier fresh you were, man. The shoes, the hair, the outfit. I stared at that picture for 20 plus minutes. 20 plus times. You are my screensaver on my laptop. I love you to death, buddy. Okay, because when I was a kid, when I was your age, Oh, it was no style. I'm talking about dirty, huge t-shirt, baggy jeans. It was awful. Okay, it was awful. It was no riz, no drip, no style. For you to be that age and already be at the peak, you already dress better than me. Every time you see me, I wore sweatpants and a cut off t-shirt.
I mean,
It was totally comfortable. Okay, I am not the standard for dressing. I get all my clothes from Burlington Coat Factory.
hey,
Don't judge.
we're at the age of comfort, buddy.
Yeah, I'm at the age of comfort. But you, my friend, when I see you dressed up, it was a peek into the future. And I told your dad that, and I thought, damn, like he looked like an adult. And I was so proud of you, man. And it was a moment. It was a moment to sit back. I had a drink and I thought about it, and I was just proud of you, man. So I gotta go first to go underrated Liam, because I was proud of you, man. Everything you do in your school grades and the way you conduct yourself, and just the person you are, buddy. I absolutely love you. I'm your biggest fan. I love you. I gotta go underrated. You're the best kid I've ever met in life. And I have my own nephew and nieces, but you know what? I could care less. I'm just being honest. You are the GOAT of kids, man, and I love you to death, and I couldn't be more proud of you, buddy. I gotta go underrated, man. That's to start off.
I love it. I love it. And I'll have to make sure if he's not here, I'll have to make sure he goes back and sees it. But yeah, so for the 8th grade dancer, they told him they couldn't do tuxes, so they had to have basically like shirt and tie or whatever. So I was like, well, dude, I've got 400 ties. So you can go pick whichever one you want, and you can dress how you want. So he picked, so he had the black pants, he had the nice blue dress shirt, and he picked the white tie. I was like, oh, the white tie. So it was a white tie.
The white shoes.
With the white Jordans, white Jordans with the black at the low tops, and it was really good. It looked really damn good. Did his hair up very nicely. So yeah, it was. He had a blast. Yeah, he had a good time. So, and then I sent you the video, right, of him pitching. Did you see that one?
No, you got to send that again. I don't think I got that.
I might have sent that. Yeah, he had a good. He's had a couple of two good weeks on,
okay.
On the mound too.
I think you sent it. I don't think I watched that one, but you send it to me again.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Don, go ahead, buddy. You go.
So for as far as underrated go, I had something picked out, but I'm going to say Mike as a hype man is definitely underrated. Like,
I love
it. I want you following me. I want you just like following me around. I want you narrating my life. Like, I'll be running through walls. I would say so underrated. First thing that comes to mind is the Falcons wide receiving core. I think Drake London's underrated. I think Darnell Mooney's underrated. And I really want to put the spotlight on Isaiah Wooden, the UDFA we signed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his numbers are crazy. He ran a 4.35 with 1.38 10-yard split, which I think is the fastest ever. Had a 44.5-inch vertical. Like, I think he's 5'7", 176, so he's on the smaller side. But man, he is a burner and a freak athlete. So like, I think he's somebody people. Well, let's see, but I feel like he's somebody once preseason games start that people start talking about. So wide receiver, it's Mike, wide receiver core, and then specifically Isaiah Wooden.
I love it, buddy. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. Yep. All right, so I'll go overrated. This kind of got messed up a little bit earlier, but it still stands. Xfinity, man. So Xfinity and Bally Sports, if you don't know, they couldn't come to an agreement on their sports packages. All right, so Bally Sports is how you see Braves games. So like 12 different markets, basically, all of a sudden, just one day, it's like boom, it's gone. Bally Sports is gone. You can't watch Braves anymore. And then they're like, okay, we're going to give you a stipend or whatever. Well, like they're basically going to give you like a little money back, whatever. It's like $6. All right, I think that's what they saw. I guess what we saw on the bill. So Amanda went. She's like, because her name's on all the Xfinity stuff, so she tries to call them. I don't know if y'all have ever tried to call Xfinity before to get anything done, but don't do that because but it was hilarious because she finally got it. Like she went through 3 people just trying to find one person that could tell her, like, I just want to know, like, how much will it cost us just to only have home security and only have internet? Like, that's all I want to know. And every time she mentioned home security, they're like, oh, we got to get you to somebody else. Then the guy finally got to him, right? And he was like, why are you trying to cancel? And she was like, well, main reason we have it to begin with because the Bally Sports, we watch the Braves. Well, now we can't watch the Braves. He said, I shit you not. He said, what if I tell you I could get you Bally? And we're like, you fucking can't, because it's like way above you. Like your company
Yeah.
says you can't. Like you just
Yeah.
can't. There's no button you could push to magically
Yeah.
give us Bally Sports.
You a customer service rep.
You a customer service rep halfway across the world. Like I promise you, you can't give us Bally Sports. And I was like, did I just hear that right? She was like, really? How can you do that? And then like he didn't say anything. And so she eventually got it canceled. We had to go like trade in our boxes today. But she had a really good experience at the actual location. Like the lady was super cool, nice. And she told her that story, and she was like, what they tell you? So yeah.
Hold on, John. Now how you gonna watch the Braves now?
So we got Fubo TV for at least the time being. So we're gonna try it out for like the little trial period for a week and see what happens.
That's only $720 though, ain't it? P.
You might be right. I don't even know. No, it's HD, but it's not. I don't. There's only you can get a package that has 4K, but I don't even know.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know what one's got. Yeah. So
okay, hold on. Now I got one for y'all. I didn't like basketball. I was never raised on basketball until a guy. His name was Allen Iverson. Okay, I watched every game this man ever played, no matter which team. When he stopped playing, I stopped watching the sport of basketball. There's a girl in college basketball, I believe, is going to do the same thing for the WNBA. Her name is Paige Beckners. Okay, Paige, I know it. Everybody is rah for Caitlin. What is it, man? Her name is Caitlin Clark, I believe.
Yeah.
When Paige get into that league, you've never seen the effect that she has. If you ever seen anybody with swag that dress like this, that is as cool as her, that is as and she's cute, that behaves like her, that conducts herself like her, she's going to be the face of the WNBA when she get in that WNBA. Paige Beckners is going to do the same thing for you. Remember before Iverson came, everybody had on them high shorts and everybody was dressed properly. Then when he came, everybody man looked like me. Okay, she's gonna do the same thing. So I believe that with all my heart. Like she's something else as a human being. Like she's cute. The girl got swag. She's fun. She's like marketable. She's gonna change the sport of women's basketball when she get in the WNBA. I have no doubt about that. Paige Beckner is underrated.
Watch out, Summer Rae.
Watch out, Summer Rae. Right. Watch out, Summer Rae. Now, hey, I do love Paige, but I love Summer better. But I do want to go one more and just one last one. I have to say this because it's important to me and it's on my heart to say. I feel like when you all go to a person's page on whatever platform you on and you see something positive, so you see something that you like, I feel like, man, your ego stops you from saying it. But it's 20 things that pop up that prevent you from telling a person. And then how you start thinking, I don't want him to try to think I'm sweating him. I don't want her to think I want to have sex with her. Like, I don't want him to think he like better than me. I don't want to give him a compliment. I don't want to like the post. And 20 things stop you from praising the person or from building them up. But if you're going on whoever's page or their platform that you don't like the stuff they're saying, somehow nothing prevents you. Nothing stops you from saying, I don't agree with what you're saying. I don't like this shit. And you can't dress, you can't sing, you can't dance. I can't stand your haircut. Like it's just nothing seems to prevent you from saying, I don't agree with you. But why is it that when you go to somebody's page and you love what they're doing, or you like how they dress, or you like how they dance, or you think they're funny, or you think they can sing, 20 things prevent you from just saying, hey, man, that shit you doing is amazing. That is the weirdest thing. Social media is the weirdest thing. I just got on it, so I'm like a dinosaur in the area. But that is the first thing I noticed. Like you all refuse to give each other props and praise. You refuse to do it. The peak of your praise will be, I'm gonna hit the like button. I'm not gonna comment. I'm not gonna repost it. I'm not gonna share it. I'm not gonna do no message. The peak of the peak of my support, I'm just going to like. But man, if I don't agree with you, oh, you stupid mother. How could you say this? This don't make no sense. Because if you was rich, and I just feel like, man, if 20 things got in the way of your hating ass hating, then it would be balanced. But if you gonna always make it fair, if you can feel it in your heart to drag somebody and write a whole paragraph about how you don't agree with them, then your ass should write a whole paragraph about how awesome that person is and how dope you agree when you like what you saying. And you should have the same energy. That's how you know you're a good human being and you being decent and you being fair. Ain't nothing wrong with dragging a person. As long as you saying, hey man, if I like what you're doing, I'm gonna write a whole paragraph about how dope you are. And because nobody get that anymore. And all they ever get is you downing them and saying that you don't like this, and they not funny, and they can't sing, and they can't dance. So all I'm saying, man, the world will be a much better place. You don't have to be just positive all the time, but at least be fair and be decent. When you like what somebody doing, is get out your ego and get out of competition and be able to tell somebody, if it's male or female, that you think they dope and you think they awesome and they doing a great job at whatever it is they doing. That's called being a good human fucking being. That's it, buddy. Out of your fucking.
Love it. I'm not going to be able to top that at all. I'm sure Thon can't either. So, but I got to answer Millie real quick. John said, John, college football 25 drops in July. Are you grabbing it? Hell yeah, I'm grabbing it. Of course I am. And who you right. So yeah, Liam's already hit me up. He's already telling me like there's a package you can get that and Madden together apparently. As a package deal and get some upgrades. I'm not even sure, but yeah, man, definitely going to. I'm going to have to use Alabama, dude. I'm going to have to use Jalen Milroe in Alabama and see what I can do because that was the last time I was able to play with him. It was so like years ago, man. And it was me and my buddies. We used to do like the dynasty leagues online, so like you could like play each other. You start a season, awesome. You recruit the high school kids to come in. Like it was amazing, man. It was awesome. All right, so I'll do two quick underrateds. Where's it? Don's turn. I forgot. Don, is it your turn, buddy? Yeah, go ahead.
I went.
Oh, you did?
Okay. I said underrated was the receivers and Mike.
Gotcha. All right, so I'll do quick too. One underrated for the Falcons. I'm gonna go Troy Anderson because I think a lot of people forgot about Troy last year when he got hurt. And Nate Landman's great. I love Nate Landman, but he's not Troy Anderson. I think, and like Don said too, first couple of games last year played really well. Like looking like okay, he's definitely. You could tell him getting more comfortable. Like Damsky said on Tuesday, like you could see him the first year he got lost, and Joe said the same thing. You could see he just get lost a little bit in coverage. Maybe stuff is moving too fast for him. We know he's a smart kid. I think this year he's in for a big like I told you show type of season. Like if he can stay healthy, like and just keep himself. Yeah, me too. And that pec injury is a kind of a weird injury. Like it's not the greatest thing for a linebacker or somebody that's going to hit to get, but guys who came back from it and been just fine. So TJ Watt had the same thing.
Even as good as Troy was, like I think at their peaks last year, Landman was better than Troy last year. But the ceiling that Troy has is like it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. Like, and if it's close, you got to go to Troy because you got to help him open that up.
Exactly. So. And he can do pretty much everything on the field. He can cover if you want him to cover. He can rush a passer if you want to rush a passer. The only thing he's got to get better at is I think Damsky even said it, is just kind of the run fits and getting kind of used to being that kind of thumper type of
playing. It's linebacker. He has to learn it.
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
Played for what? 4 years?
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, he's a quarterback and running back and
everything, dog.
Yep.
He needs running.
Yeah. And lastly, and this I've only had this once, so if you've had a bad experience, don't kill me on it. But the Cantina menu at Taco Bell, man, the Cantina chicken menu, pretty damn solid. Yeah, pretty solid. Like the chicken, it's like slower cooked chicken. So if you want to like have some healthy like kind of option for not like break your wallet, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you can go there and get you a burrito. You can get you like one of those little. I mean, I'm talking about like $10 and a shit ton of food for like $5, $8, even $10. But it was really good, man. Like it was like it didn't taste like typical Taco Bell food, so I was pretty happy about that. So anyway,
John's stomach It's made it still, man. I swear. This man can try everything and be fine.
It was good. They had like some kind of like avocado lime dressing on it or whatever. Like it was cool. Like I was like, okay, man, I see. All right, that's cool. All right. Oh, so Jack, what's going on, man?
Right.
Tom, good to see you, buddy.
One time for the fan.
Just shouted out the Rise Up Tour, buddy. If you don't know if you're in here or not, but we definitely keep pushing that for you
Dog,
guys.
I really appreciate everybody came tonight, and I don't know if that was for us or my main man Drip or for both of us, but I really do appreciate it, man, because this was dope to be. Because I haven't been on in like a month. It was a really cool show. I had my man on, which I didn't ever dream. I spoke to John on Tuesday, and I said I'm not gonna be able to be there for the Joe show. And he told me about tonight, and I was like, "Well, I'm not gonna miss that one for the world. I wouldn't miss my man." I said, I'll make sure I'm in there for that one." So this was dog. I really want to tell you, it really was an honor to be on the show with you tonight. And I don't say that lightly, man. It really is. I cannot stand Instagram. I can't stress that enough. And your stuff is so clear. It's so amazing. It's so like you said, I get people hype. It get me hype. Like, so it really is an amazing channel, man, and we absolutely love what you do. So it was an honor to have you on the show tonight. It was a great show.
It was awesome to be here, just chatting up, and we'll talk after. I'll give you some pointers and tips. It's easy once you get the hang,
Yeah, it was dope.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. And thank you, Mark, for coming for your first time. It was kind of dope.
Man. He said I'm about to build up tech on Dynasty mode, man. Good luck. That's going to take you a few years to build up tech, buddy. But unfortunately, hopefully this is hilarious. He said, "What if I told you I could get Valley Sports golfing trip and with me?"
Hey! I gotta jump in there. Hey, Paige Beckner is I'm telling you, when she get in, she'll be the first number one. She stay healthy, she'll be the number one pick, and she'll change the sport of women's basketball. Someone said that Angel Reese looked like Sid from I say, come on, y'all, stop. I'm not gonna do Angel. I'm not gonna talk about Angel. I love Angel. I'm not gonna do that.
Oh man.
I can't talk about it.
That's hilarious, man. Shaggy says,
Falcons Drip. He said you owe him $5. Who is this?
Shaggy said you owe him. I don't know why.
He said, okay, DJ said when it comes to internet and like some of the hater type people get, yeah. I just want to encourage everybody we all gotta encourage each other. And Troy is it, dog. He's a tag man.
Come on, Mark.
He can do anything, buddy. He can cover, he can blitz, he can do anything. Can Clark Phillips
Yeah, I think he will be, man. I think he will be. Yeah. We'll see how. I mean, as of right now, I'd rather have Clark out there than anybody else.
Yeah, he's aggressive.
I don't even know who Shaggy is or how.
Yeah, he said you owe him $5, so I don't know if that's a refund. Is that a refund?
Are you Falcons fan? Is that why? That's why.
Is he jogging your memory?
Yeah, it's an inside joke if it is.
Okay. Hey, he came on live to get you. I love it.
Because he's saying Falcons fans better.
I love it.
Yeah, it's funny.
Gotcha. All right, boys. Well, it's been a hell of a show, man. I think
it was a great show, man.
We're almost up under 2 hours, so we'll close it down, man. But hey, look, all the creators that were here, man. Thank you guys for stopping in. All the new people that were here for the first time, appreciate y'all stopping in. Hope you come back. Hope you enjoyed it. You can always check us out here live. You can check the replay. You can check us on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you get your podcast, man. If you do that, drop us a 5-star review so we can keep the thing growing. And we'll be back. Like I said, we'll be back probably next week. Mike and I figure out our schedule, but like I said, we're gonna be more on a regular kind of thing now that it'll be a little bit of a slow period during the summer. Well, as we all know, it's as soon as OTAs are over with, it'll be a little kind of a break. But we'll still have stuff to talk about, and we'll still have shows and still just do some nonsense shows, because those are always fun as well. Just to come in here and talk nonsense with a bunch of people. Yeah, Jack, no problem, buddy. You got it, man. But Thon, man, plug anything you want to plug before we get out of here, buddy.
Yeah, I think Mike said it all, right? And you can go if you want, you can go find me on Instagram. I do have a Twitter, but the Instagram, if you don't find it, it'll find you. And you got, I know you'll once it finds you.
I love it.
Once it finds you, you're hooked. So find me if you want. If not, I'll find you.
Love it, man. So yeah, so y'all can obviously follow us on Twitter, Out of Your Effing Mind, on Instagram, Out of Your Falcon Mind. We may start using it more. We may get better. Once we learn from Thon, we may get it. We may get some more followers.
You guys will get it going. I'll help you guys. We'll collab on some things.
Definitely TikTok. Mike will keep it going on TikTok pretty soon. And then I've been kind of like slacking on Twitter myself. I haven't been a whole lot going on there, but we're good. It's been this weird time for us, so we're doing better. But man, I had the merch thing going earlier on the show. Of course, you can go to bonfire.com/store Out of Your Falcon Mind with little dashes between Out of Your Falcon Mind if you want to check out some of the merch. We much appreciate that. We got shirts, hoodies, coffee mugs, you name it. And we'll probably need to update that store pretty soon. But yeah, man. So Thon, thank you, dude, for coming on. We'll definitely have you back on at some point.
Yeah, thank you guys. It was a blast. Yeah, anytime I love talking Falcons. So
awesome, man. Well,
especially too, like there's one of my favorite podcasts to watch.
Thank you, buddy.
You guys, of course, you guys are gonna be big time before you know it. I don't know with 2-hour episodes if everybody's gonna be into that, but we'll keep it going.
Yeah.
Maybe have me on. Maybe have me on less then.
It mean the world.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're kind of not notorious for hour and a half, hour 45, 2 hours.
I love it. The world is such a fast paced thing now. I love it. Like, give me a 2-hour episode.
Yeah, I mean, we always tell everybody, if you want your 30-minute hitters, man, just go get Aaron, go see Aaron, go get your 30-minute Falcons fix every single day. I do. Yeah. I watch. Every single day I get in the car, it's first thing I listen to. So I mean, I get it, man. But we appreciate everybody so much, man. Also, you can email us at atlfalconfancast@gmail.com if you want to send any emails to us. But we'll be back next week. Don't know the date yet, but probably either Tuesday or Thursday. Just keep your eyes on the channel, keep your eyes on social media. And I'm going to remember the outro video this week because I forgot it last week because it's been so damn long since I've done it. Mike, take us out, buddy.
Out of your Falcon mind. Peace.